What's up, guys? Black Andy Cat, we're back. Another episode of These Three Things. Florida Big Three rankings. So going into week 4, who's the best team in Florida? I think that question goes, and it's rhetorical at this point because it's obviously Miami, right? We don't have any evidence to suggest that anybody in the state is better than Miami. Knowles fans, some might question that, but I don't think many are. They realize they haven't really done anything yet. Yes, you beat Bama. Look at previous episodes of this podcast. I'm skeptical, so therefore, Florida State is still a big question for me. So Miami seems like they're reigning supreme in the state, right? The wheels are coming off early this season. This happened last season, though, right? This has happened every season for Billy Napier. So last season he was able to make a turnaround, but late in the season, hard to believe that Billy Napier can keep his job. Whereas USF, they made their big run. First couple of games of the season went down to Miami, and as I expected, Miami ran them off the field. I think everybody expected that, right? So Miami proved they were not to be played with. They were not Florida. They were here. They're on a mission right now. And UCF, we still don't know, right? UCF had a big change, changing coach. So you got to change in everything, right? Changing system. All this stuff is different. So they seem to be kind of picking up steam as the season goes along. So a lot going on here. But the Florida Big Three rankings seem, except for that third spot, right? The first 2 spots seem locked in, and we'll get to that. But who's in that number 3 spot? Well, you know how I go here. If you don't win, you don't get votes. Neither the Gators nor the Bulls won this last week, so neither one of those two get votes. UCF won their last game, so UCF, you're in at number 3. First time this season, we got the UCF Knights in the Florida Big Three rankings from these 3 things. So I'm really interested to see how things go for UCF this season. Like I said, they've started from ground zero with an entirely new coach. I know he's been here before, but it's a totally different program, right? Things have changed. NIL exists now. So I expect them to get better and become more dangerous as the season goes along. The only thing that'll top them out, or I shouldn't say the only thing, one of the things that's going to top them out is the talent. How much talent do they have, right? I'm not sure they have a whole lot of talent. They don't have a whole lot of NIL money. So, Scott Frost had to basically do with what he had out at UCF. And so far, so good. He's undefeated. And got a big test this week in UNC, right? Going up against Bill Belichick. That program seems like that's not going so great. The whole Bill Belichick thing seems to be imploding upon itself. He's turned into kind of a weirdo with the young girlfriend, right? So who knows what's going on there? So hey, UCF Knights fans, you are number 3 this week in the Florida Big Three rankings. All right, number two, our number 2 team, as it was before, Florida State Seminoles, right? Don't have a reason to not believe you're the second best team in the state of Florida. You put that beating on Bama, and we're going to clutch to that beating of Bama until you beat somebody better, right? Until, was it the week after this Saturday? I think it is. You go see Miami. I think it's the week after this upcoming Saturday. So that's when we'll start to figure some things out. This week you got another softie, another cupcake game with Kent State. So Castellanos is going to continue to run over teams. You say, hey, we beat Bama, right? And yeah, I'm just not a believer in Bama. Well, Bama beat Wisconsin this past week, and yeah, so what? Wisconsin is Wisconsin. The Badgers aren't a power squad. They've had some good seasons, but other than that, there's no reason to believe that they're a top-notch squad. The Big Ten is just kind of like the SEC, where all the power was concentrated at the top of the conference, and everybody else was just kind of there to fill in. So, but I'm not gonna. You still look like a good team. Don't get it wrong. You look pretty good right now. So I'm not gonna question the fact that you're the second best team in the state of Florida. And then we get to the number 1 squad, Miami Hurricanes, right? I told you coming in, I was interested to see how the Hurricanes handled USF. I expected them to blow the doors off that squad. That's what they did. They blew the doors off that squad. So no surprises there. They're looking really, really good, right? It's a really good looking team right now. So, I've heard people say they might be the best team in the nation. I won't go that far with it. We really haven't seen anything. If you're going to base it off the Notre Dame win, that's in question now, right? Look at Notre Dame, right? Notre Dame went down to Texas A&M. We don't know how good Texas A&M is an SEC team, though, right? So people are going to tell you that, right? Well, does that keep Miami at the top echelon? I want to see more from Miami, but I'm a believer. But the problem is Crystal Ball always has this ceiling where he can't quite seem to finish seasons off and get things done. It happened to him out at Oregon, right? Last season it kind of happened. We thought he had what he needed with Cam Ward, and the squad looked good, and then they dropped some games, right? And there's still some tough games on Miami's schedule. But I believe Miami is the best team in the state. I believe they're going to continue to be the best team in the state. Just did a podcast about 2 or 3 days ago. Check it out. Where I believe, right, the ACC championship, if you're looking at it right now, the ACC championship has to come through the state of Florida. So, I've said that, put that on wax, so check it out. But I believe that the Miami Hurricanes are going to be in the championship game at the end of the season. The only question is, will they be playing FSU for a second time in that championship game, or will it be somebody else? So there it is, the Florida Big Three rankings. Tell me what you think down in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe to the video, and we'll see you next time. Peace.